devil first visited me as a shadow, not with cloven hooves or sulphurous breath, but as a cold vacancy in the corners of my childhood home. He lingered in the echo of slammed doors, in the silence after my mother's muffled cries, in the way my siblings' laughter died when his car pulled into the driveway. I was too young to name him then, but I felt him, a rot seeping into the foundation of our lives. By the time I turned 13, I knew his true face. Our house was a sprawling, soulless thing, a monument to his ego. Marble floors, vaulted ceilings, and walls lined with oil portraits of his stern ancestors. But the real prison was in my mind. I built a mansion there too, a labyrinth where the devil hid. He dwelled in the attic of my fears, the basement of my nightmares, the hollow halls where I replayed his words, ungrateful, weak, nothing. He was never home, not really. His physical absence was a relief, but his presence lingered like smoke. I'd stare at the clock, counting minutes until his return, my stomach knotting at the sound of tires on gravel. My mother would smooth her dress, adjust her smile, and usher us into performance mode. Dinner is warm, grades perfect, no trouble here. But the devil needs no invitation. He never tucked me in, but his rituals were meticulous. Sunday mornings he'd line us up in the foyer, inspecting shoes, hair, posture. My younger brother, Sam, once scuffed his loafers playing in the yard. The devil backhanded him so hard his lips split. Discipline, he said, wiping blood from his ring, is love. The word curdled in my throat. At night, I'd hear them argue, my mother's pleas, his growl. One evening, I crept downstairs and saw him gripping her wrist, his face inches from hers. "You'll ruin them," she whispered. He laughed, a sound like gravel. "They're already ruined." School was my escape. I joined the cheer squad, not for the pom-poms or popularity, but for the violence of it, the way I could hurl my body into the air and pretend I had control. My boyfriend, Jake, kissed me behind the bleachers, his hands gentle, his words softer. But when he joked, "You're kinda obsessed with perfection, huh?" I screamed at him for no reason. The devil smirked in my head. "See? You're mine." I started scratching my wrists, not to die but to feel something else. The pain was clean, honest, unlike his. The summer I turned 13, the devil abandoned subtlety. Mom was working late, he'd been drinking. Sam spilled a glass of milk at dinner. The devil stood slowly, eyes glazed, and flung the table aside. Dishes shattered. Sam scrambled backward, but the devil yanked him up by the collar. "You'll learn respect," he hissed. Something snapped in me. I lunged, clawing at his arms. "Stop, stop," he turned, and for the first time I saw it, the void in his eyes, hungry and infinite. Not anger. Hunger. He fed on our fear. That night, I locked myself in the bathroom, trembling. The mirror showed my face, his jawline, his dark brows, and I gagged. I scrubbed my skin raw as if I could purge his DNA. But the devil's blood was in me, a poison I'd never chosen. He never hit me again. He didn't need to. The devil's work is efficient. I saw him in my nightmares, in the way I flinched at slamming doors, in the panic attacks before exams. When I graduated high school, I scanned the crowd, half expecting him to ruin it. He didn't come. Of course. At college, I dated men who mocked my ambitions, who gaslit and ghosted. I'd hear the devil's chuckle. "You'll always choose me." Therapy became my rebellion. Dr. Lasky, with her frizzy hair and no-nonsense voice, handed me a mirror. "Tell me what you see." "A monster." "Try again." I squinted. My eyes, his eyes, but flecked with gold. My mouth, but curved in my mother's stubborn smile. My hands, scarred but capable. "I see, a survivor." Slowly, I rewrote the mansion in my mind. The devil's attic became a library. The basement, a garden. I painted walls in colors he'd hate. Neon pink, sunflower yellow. Therapy became my rebellion. Dr. Lasky, with her frizzy hair and no-nonsense voice, handed me a mirror. "Tell me what you see." "A monster." "Try again." I squinted. My eyes, his eyes, but flecked with gold. My mouth, but curved in my mother's stubborn smile. My hands, scarred but capable. I see a survivor. Slowly, I rewrote the mansion in my mind. The devil's attic became a library, the basement a garden. I painted walls in colors he'd hate, neon pink, sunflower yellow. Today my daughter turns 3. She has my eyes, my laugh. When she stumbles, I kiss her knees. When she rages, I hold her. I'm here, I whisper. Always. The devil's voice still flickers sometimes. You'll fail her. But I've met worse monsters. I've survived them. In the mirror, I trace my face. The parts of him that linger, the parts of her that heal. I am a mosaic. I am free. If you're enjoying these spine-tingling tales and want more chilling adventures, hit that subscribe button and bell, turn on notifications. Your support keeps the stories coming.